one, which does look three-dimensional and does look regular in its shape, and it looks like a real box sitting there, because it does follow these rules of perspective drawing. It is below our eye level. This is our eye level, remember. And because it's below our eye level, we can see the top. And because we're to the one side of it, we can see one side. We can't see the other side because we can't see around corners. So that side is not visible, but we can see the front, the top, and this side because of where we are positioned. Now this one, there's pretty much no rules here, and it's confusing. We don't know where we are in relation to it, and you're going to look at it and think, well, there's something wrong with it. Well, the more you know about perspective, the more you'll notice that when drawings are not done correctly. I see it all the time, and I see good work too, that, you know, the person obviously knew a lot about what they were doing, but they didn't have this knowledge. They didn't have the knowledge of perspective drawing, because I look at something that doesn't follow the rules, and there's something oddly, you know, weird about it. Something doesn't click, and then I'll discover what it is. I can follow their lines and see that they didn't use a vanishing point, or they didn't really establish where eye level was, and there wasn't, you know, it wasn't constructed like it should have been. Okay, here's kind of working toward what I'm going to have you do for an assignment. I'm going to have you, and I'll do a quick demonstration of what I want you to do. I'm going to have you do a few sketches of objects, in fact quite a few, and you're going to start by putting your eye level in pretty much in the middle of your page. It doesn't matter what shape page, it doesn't have to be exactly like this one, but just put it kind of in the middle. Remember, this is eye level, this is your horizon line, and you'll always have this. And we're going to put ourselves right in the middle of the paper. Okay, we're right in the center when we're right in front of this, okay? Now, we're going to draw a number of different shapes of rectangles and squares. You can do many of them, and let me illustrate what I'm talking about. For example, I'm going to start with one up here, and I'm going to make it kind of a long one this way. There's a rectangle, and I'm going to also put I'm going to put one right here that goes this way, and let's put one. What happens if we put one that's right on our eye level? Actually, it's not a problem. I'll probably explain this special case to you, but I bet you can figure it out. Let's put one back over here. And a few more. Now I've got a few words of advice here. Just complete one, and don't try to work your way around all at once, but take a look at one object and decide where you are in relation to it. Okay, if this is our eye level, then these boxes are above us and we're looking up at those. These boxes below our eye level, so we're going to look down a little bit at these. You know, the further you move things down, the more we're looking down at them. The higher you put them, the more we're looking up at them. What about that one? This one is kind of at our eye level. It's pretty much even with our eye level, and so it's a little bit different in that if this is our eye level, we really can't see the top, and we can't see underneath. What can we see? Well, we are to the side of it. So this one would be completed just by extending to the vanishing point like this. I didn't draw that very straight. And then we decide the depth, how far back we want it to go. And we just draw a vertical to cut it off. Now, a lot of people get kind of, I noticed this when you begin, a lot of people want to make this line like that. Well, that isn't a vertical. Okay, make sure when you do these, when you decide to cut the thing off, you've decided on the depth, that you make it going straight up and down. Straight up and down, just like the one in the front. These are parallel to one another, and they need to go straight up and down. Okay, now the rest of this, you can erase it, or it's unnecessary. What we have are lines, depth lines that go to the vanishing point, and that's how you would view a box that was at your eye level. You'd only see the side. But these others, then we're gonna keep using this point. We're gonna do the same process. You're gonna extend lines from the corners, and here's the rule: don't cross the face of the object. This is the face of the object, okay? This is the front. So you wouldn't draw a line from here, because it would go across the face. Would you draw one from here? Yeah. Because, why? It's not crossing the face. See? How do you know where to cut them off? Well, you can cut them off wherever you want. All you have to do, though, is make sure that your lines are horizontal and vertical. It can go back as far as you want it to go back. What happens when you go with this one? Because it's going to run into this box. What's the rule? You don't cross the face. How about this line? Does that cross the face? Let's see. It doesn't. So it can go all the way to the point. This one, though, you'd stop because it's going to run into that line on the face of this object. So you might run into that here and there. And I'm drawing with this dark pen. It'll be a little easier for you to eliminate your lines if you use a pencil, you know, where they don't have to go all the way back to the point. They only have to go back as far as you decide to cut them off. Now, I'd like you to do a page with, I've got 6, I would like you to have 10 shapes. They've got to be square or rectangular, and they're not going to be situated like this. They're not going to be at this funny angle. They're going to just draw these, this is out. They're going to be like this, where they're vertical and horizontal. Then what I want you to do is extend from the corners to the vanishing point on all of your objects. And then you're going to cut them off wherever you like to make the size of the object. From there, you can eliminate your guidelines, or even leave them in if you want, but maybe darken the lines that show the actual shape of the box. You can shade the boxes if you want to, but remember the rule: you don't cross the face of any of these. So another example then, you wouldn't extend a line from that back corner there because it was going right across the face. I wouldn't extend one from here because it's going right across the face. If we were making glass boxes that you could see through, that's another story, and we may get to something like that. Now you're probably thinking, why all the boxes at this point? Well, it's just step one, and we've got some vocabulary and a few